Hello YouTube land. Well, I've just put on my computer for the day, and I've seen that their headline is that the media's giving loads and loads of coverage to what Hillary Clinton said about spying. What do I have to say about that? Who gives a crap what Hillary Clinton's got to say about spying? If the New World Order has their way, she's going to be the next not Prime Minister, the next President of the US, or the next puppet of the banking establishment. So whatever she says, she can soar off. I've got no interest at all in Hillary Clinton. What I do have interest in is Savage Sword of Conan, the Barbarian. Look at that fantastic front cover. Well, living in England, I did actually read these when I was growing up. I read the like English versions, which I think they're the same stories, but you know, done for the English market. Now this one's American, so you know, $1. Savage Sword of Conan, July number 20, $1 there on the top. It's about 1977. Yeah, July 1977. And the story is called A Slithering Shadow. I'll give the names of the artists as well, because they're bloody good. A script, Roy Thomas. Art, John Buscema, and Alfred Alcalo. John Buscema is quite a famous artist, isn't he? Even I know him. There you go. That's the introduction to the story, The Slithering Shadow. How fantastic is that? Now this story is gloriously, gloriously sexist. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I'm not a woman. I'm a man. Oh, I like this sort of stuff, and I'm not ashamed to say that I do. Well, it starts the story with Conan and his girl, his woman, in the desert. They're dying of thirst, and Conan takes control, takes charge, because that's what men are supposed to do. Men are supposed to take charge. I know we have women as managers nowadays, and women are all the bosses of every household. That's not how it's supposed to be. Men are supposed to be the bosses. So then Conan takes charge. He gives this woman his last drop of water, because just because you're in charge, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a nanny, like a nanny state, and boss people around. You care for your woman, you love your woman. That's Conan loving for his woman. But they find just as they're about to starve to death, and they think, oh, that's it. Conan thinks that's it, and he's you know, thinking of ways of you know, offering himself really and offering his woman before they actually go through the miseries of dehydration and hallucinations and just, you know, rotting to death in the desert. They find a citadel. There we go. It's all beautifully drawn. There's the citadel. But when they walk into the citadel, it seems to be empty. There's a man who appears to be dead by a well. Then all of a sudden, that man attacks Conan. I love showing you the art because it's all fantastic. Conan's confused, but what do you do when someone attacks you? You defend yourself. And Conan's very good at defending himself. Attack Conan? Yeah. You get what you deserve. And that's the end of him. You don't attack Conan. He shut down the well. Conan and his woman go into a hall, find it empty, find a banquet prepared, and his woman is saying, we can't eat it, it might be poisoned. And Poison's saying, I'd rather die of poison than of starvation. And he has a big gulp of wine and enjoys the meal. And just after he's finished the meal, he's thinking, that's lovely, I'll have a bit of a kick now. But just as he's going to have a kick, things start to kick off. Some creepy men turn up. The creepy men freak out. Well, the creepy man actually freaks out his girl, and the girl says, "It's a nightmare. We are dead and damned. We died out there in the desert. We're in hell." And what Conan does, this is great. He slaps her on the arse. There he is. Okay, I can show this. There you go. He's slapping him on the arse. Saying, you're no spirit if a pat makes you yell like that, we are alive. I love it. I'm a terrible, terrible, horrible, sexist person, aren't I? Because I'm actually acting like a man's supposed to act. I love this. And then a dodgy looking female appears on the scene. There she is. and she has lust in her eyes. She's after Conan. Of course she's after Conan. Conan's the perfect embodiment of masculinity. Why wouldn't she be after Conan? So she's trying to seduce Conan. Conan's is a loyal man. Just because you're a ultra masculine alpha male doesn't mean that you're just going to sleep with any old female who offers herself to you. You're going to be loyal to your woman, and Conan's loyal to his woman. And upsets this girl, of course, and she kidnaps her. There she is, more glorious art. Thank you. There we go. There's the woman rejected by Conan, grabbing his girl, and taking her into a secret passage in the citadel, as Conan tries to find out to where they've got to. All beautifully drawn by this John Buscema. Fantastic stuff. Right, what happens next? Ooh, it really starts to get interesting. As if it wasn't all interesting already. That woman who wanted Conan ties up Conan's girl and sacrifices her to this big beastly monster. There she is, screaming. Who's going to save her? Who's going to save her? Who do you think is going to save her? The man. Don't see art like this nowadays, do you? But you actually do. You do in some creepy magazines by Wrights, Bernie Wrights. He does this sort of art. And the artwork in King Conan is really good as well. So it's probably not up to the standard of this, but it's pretty good. And next we have a fantastic battle scene with Conan against this big slug thing. What's this slug thing's name? I forget what the name of the thing is. Oh, I'll find it in a minute. Anyway, all you need to know really is that at the moment there's the slug thing fighting against Conan. It's a terrific fight with Conan plunging his sword and dagger into this beast. The beast doesn't want to die. It's fighting back. It's trying to take out Conan, and Conan smacks its eye out as well. There we are. The eye going. And the thing is slithering towards the pit, trying to drag Conan down with it. I'm trying to find out the name of this thing. Yeah, and the thing goes down into the pit. No, I'll just call it a thing, shall I? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Fog. I saw that time I finally found his name. The thing is called Fog. Fog, the slug thing. Is sent hurtling down the pit. Conan with it, and he grasps through his fingernails like a rock climber and climbs out of the pit. Unfortunately, Conan is not in a very good state after fighting Fog. Yeah, I finally got his name, Fog. He's a bit beaten, but his woman helps him out. So it's a 50-50 thing really. Conan's got the muscle, but it doesn't mean that he can do things without the help of his woman. And the woman's there bathing him, and she gives him a magic potion as well to help him out. There she is. So it's a joint thing. That's what a relationship is. It's a partnership. That's why you're called partners. No one's dominant. A man's a man and a woman's a woman. She's helping him out. I love this stuff. She's helping him out, reviving him, and he breaks through the prison bars. There you go. The woman doing the nurturing. The man with his masculine strength, all action, breaking free of the citadel. And off they go into the desert. They escaped from this fog creature and his slaves. Actually, what his slaves were doing was very interesting. His slaves were basically getting high on drugs all day and sleeping, and the fog thing was picking them off one by one, just having a bit of a snack on them every now and then. So it was quite a good analogy to actually what happens with drug addicts, really. You just want to spend all their time in like a dream world. Anyway, at the end, the last battle, Conan's woman is saying, "Wow, Conan, that was all your fault because that woman was after you." And he says, "You can't blame her, can you? After all, she was only human." After all, she was only human. Of course, she was going to go after him. There you go. After all, she was only human, of course. So a glorious bit of old chauvinist sexism there, which I love. Bring it back. I hate society as it is today with all these nannying, ninnying women bossing people around. Woman's upside down, shouldn't be like that. So that's the end of that. A fantastic story, loved it. Brilliant artwork, great action, great old school 70s sexism, which I love, and that's, I will not apologise for. And we have an add-on story called Solomon Kane's Homecoming. This is a poem by Robert E. Howard. Robert E. Howard is the guy who actually wrote the original Conan. And again, we get fantastic ink work, then fantastic artwork here. I'll show you a example of it. Just a poem, this one. You see it? Just a poem with more glorious ink work. I'll give you an example of the poem, shall I? Why not? The video's quite long anyway. There we go, this is the end of the poem. A wild moon rode the white clouds. The waves in white crests flowed when Solomon Kane went forth again, and no man knew his road. They glimpsed and etched against the moon when clouds so hilltops thinned. They heard an eerie echoed call that whistled down the wind. I think I got most of that right. Yeah, Solomon Kane. So as a whole, this book, the Savage Sword of Conan, it's the first Savage Sword of Conan that I've got. Got it on eBay. Got it for about £5 I think it was. It's a glorious front cover as well, so I'm going to stick it up on the wall. I loved every single second of this book. Classic old school 1970s sexism, when men were men and women were women before what we have nowadays. We got this this namby-pamby, liberalised, feminised culture where what's the difference between men and women? Not much, really. Just men are a bit wet nowadays, really, compared to how they used to be. And I don't like it, but I like this. The Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 20. Fantastic comic, I love it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Check it out for yourself. It is glorious. Glorious old chauvinistic brilliance from the 1970s. Okay, that's it for me. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.